Hello, Carol here. I thought I'd show you a little mini album I made recently. This one went pretty quickly. I found this really nice die cutter actually in the sale bin. It's called Album Cover and Page, and it makes some small pages for a mini album. I have a bunch of pictures of my mother taken in the 40s when she was a teenager, and these pictures back then seemed to be pretty small, and they would get lost in a big 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So this little mini album seemed to be a really good way to utilize some of those, and maybe you can guess her name was Elaine. And I put some keyring binders on the side and added some tulle and ribbon that I knotted on each of the rings. This is a individual leaf stamp that I made. I stamped and cut them out, but before I cut them out I actually used some gelato pens on these. I started with the darker orange and lighter orange, and in this case I just used my finger to blend the color in. If you water them down, they're still very nice, but they have a tendency to be the color not quite as intense. They do blend nicely. So I use those. Here's some nice little ball fringe that I got at Michael's. They had some nice little paper with kind of matching baker's twine and some paper and embellishments. So here's the first page that I made. And I try to find, because I have so many old vintage type photographs, is I really keep an eye out for old looking paper embellishments, anything. I actually go to thrift stores and dig out old Life magazines and use pieces of the old magazines, and then distress my pages. And here again is just another page I made. This is actually industrial chic charm that I just added some beads to, that I got that at Michael's. Here is another page, and this is a tag that I made using some stamps and some gelato pens, a little dab of gesso, kind of fooling around with a new technique. What I wouldn't suggest doing that I did is have just one hole punched in the center of this tag, because it has a tendency to wobble. So lesson learned, you might want to try to do something bigger. Again, here's another little page. And here's a few more, and I did some fussy cutting of some butterflies. This is just a little strip of paper that I rolled up and kind of inked the edges and tied a little bit of raffia on it. And here's the last page of this little mini album. And again, these were another part of that little set from Michael's that all kind of coordinated with the baker's twine and the paper. And I just had a plain back cover. What's nice about these Sizzix stamps is they will cut through chipboard and paper, so you have like an absolutely great fit to it. You just need to make sure when you cut your paper, there's always the tiniest little lip that'll kind of fit over the edge of the chipboard. So just remember how, when you run your die through your little cutter, which way you want the paper to face. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have more questions, let me know. Thanks.